Hello and welcome everybody, and thank you for joining me again. My name is Wilkie and I'm almost fully recovered, so I'm not gonna postpone the videos any longer. And today's video is gonna be a guide on the skill add-ons for Musa slash Blader, and obviously you can already see some of my skill add-ons. I left the one open here for the 58 skill so I can showcase a few other things. And for the Blade one, unfortunately, I don't have memory fragments and I don't want to waste my 30-day skill add-on. So bear with me. You basically have to keep in mind or have to, note down the numbers. I will give you basically the basic idea that lies beyond certain skills. Now, obviously, this is sort of a hybrid build you will see here, because these skills for Blade are tailored towards PvP, whereas my awakening skills are right now, or the second one I will take, is definitely going to focus PvE instead. You may ask yourself, why is that? Well, first off, back in the days when I PvP'd, I didn't have the Mushindo, so I was PvPing with the Blade only, so this is what I decided on. And to be fair, this is pretty much exactly, or works perfectly good for me, even with a Mushindo. And if you know that you can cancel certain skills out of Mushindo into Blade and stuff like that, which is one of my combos I use, that would be from Mushindo into Blooming into Rising Storm. So this is probably maybe making sense of why I would take certain skills. Now basically, what I took here is PvP attack speed. The defense one is sort of a fallback in case the enemy gets out of your CC chain, doesn't die, or doesn't get CC'd at all. Stop arrow is pretty much just a third ability because I don't use anything else after I have my Mushindo, so this is just kind of like a filler that I took out, and then I thought, well, why not? It's something you might want to be using if you chase down targets. So this is pretty much what I decided on. Now, for the Mushindo itself, I took Crosscut because this is one of your most used skills in PvE, at least. In PvP, maybe not so much. So this is more of a PvE build, as I said. All attack speed plus 10%, pretty obvious because you use the skill pretty much all the time, so it's almost always up. And then instant recover 3 willpower is basically to sustain myself, so I don't have to use any herbal juices, or not many at all. I tend to have them on me, and sometimes I use them if I'm running low or I want to chase from one group to another. I might actually pop a juice, but usually I don't use all too many. Now for the second skill I would take, that's going to be Twister. And the reason for that is that Twister has attack against monsters plus 20 for 8 seconds. Twister has a 2-second cooldown, and it's probably the second most used skill in PvE for me. So yeah, I see you're probably realizing where this is going. You pretty much get a free 20 attack against mobs, so this is really good. If you're looking for PvP, I'm not sure if I would awaken or put a skill add-on on Twister. What I would instead do is I'd probably leave Crosscut for the attack speed. What else I would take would be below the belt. And this one's pretty obvious. You would be taking PvP attack for that matter. And personally, the burn damage seems to be the most rewarding one. It's a free 180 damage after 9 seconds. I mean, movement speed is usually not making too much sense. If below the belt lands, it's probably gonna CC. If it CCs, the movement slow is completely useless. If it doesn't CC, the 10% slow, it's usually not possible for any target to outrun the Blader in the first place. So I don't think this is all too good. You could, pardon, you could potentially opt in for the movement speed yourself. But then again, like I said, I don't think there's much of an issue with people running away from a Blader. And if they are, or if there is an issue, the 10% slow is probably not gonna help. So this would be my PvP recommendation. And what else I would recommend for PvP is then either Crust Crusher, because it does absurd damage, especially if you get the plus 15. What else I would take is What else you could awaken is obviously Fiery Crevice, because this is a really good skill. Then again, you have PvP attack on pretty much most of these skills. So basically the trend you can see, if you want to go for PvP add-ons, then pretty much look for PvP attack, everything that buffs your attack speed or crit, and potentially stuff that gives you extra damage, like I said, the burn. Let's take a look at projection, which might be a thing you want to awaken. PvP attack plus 15 is not too bad, though, well, it might not be a bad thing, really. And seeing how it has attack against monsters plus 30, and the cooldown is not that long, that might actually be a good thing. Well, I'm not sure yet. And last but not least, what we could take a look at is backflow, because this skill hits like a truck as well. But the PvP attack on this one is kinda eerily low, so I don't recommend taking that, to be perfectly honest. If you decide to awaken this skill, look at this buff, the third one, all critical rate plus 20 for 9 seconds, which is really good. 3% chance to bounce the target. I don't think this is a good option, and the rest probably neither. So as I said, this is my current skill add-on guide or build. If you're a blader and you're not 56 yet, so you're basically just grinding with a blade because you have nothing else to do or to use, what you then could awaken is Rising Storm, or what I would awaken is Rising Storm. Then we would use Whirlwind Cut, because I use that skill quite a lot. And the third skill I would recommend to put a skill add-on on would be Divider, for additional willpower and HP recovery, or if you like it, Carver, because this is one of the, or at least I think one of the best skills to quickly recover willpower if you're using blade only. Anyway, so this is pretty much what I would recommend you guys for skill add-ons. Like I said, if it's for PvP, it's pretty straightforward, as well as for PvE. You know, this is pretty much where it's headed. So I'm just gonna go for that, because I think this is really good, and it's pretty much active all the time. So and I'm just gonna go YOLO mode and see if it doesn't override anything. Anyways, like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the skill add-on guide for Musa / Blader. If you have any questions, if anything wasn't clear, anything specific you might want to know, feel free to let me know, and yeah, I'll gladly answer your questions in the comments or per private message, whatever you prefer. And yeah, thank you for joining so far, and hopefully see you guys in the next one as well.